Welcome to the Math Talk for Wednesday, May 27th. We're going to be looking at these different graphs and charts today, and I'm going to be asking you some questions, and you're going to be deciding which graph or chart makes the most sense to use for that question. So as an example, this chart is tally marks, and so it shows a tally mark for each person that chose that as their favorite pet. So if I wanted to ask you, which chart would be best for noting, for keeping track of which days you did your math in your math books, which days you worked on your math books, it wouldn't really make sense to use this one because if you put Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, you wouldn't work on your math book on Monday more than once or maybe twice, so it wouldn't make sense to have tally marks for each day that you worked on your math book because you would work on the day, you would just be like, oh, I worked on it that day. One tally mark. Maybe you opened it twice or did it for 2 sessions. But it might make more sense over here to say on Monday, I worked on it for 12 minutes, and on Tuesday for 8 minutes, and on Wednesday for 20 minutes, and on Thursday, like you could keep track of how many minutes you worked on your math book. So I'm going to ask you some questions. All right. So which chart would make sense? A bar chart, a pie chart, a line graph, a pictogram, a tally chart, or a frequency table, meaning the number of times that something happened. If I was going to ask what our class's favorite dessert was, which chart would you use if I said, what is our class's favorite dessert? I think there's a lot of options for that one. What about the amount of time you spent watching TV? Which chart could I use to graph or to keep track of the amount of time you spent watching TV each day? I could see you using a bar chart for that one to show how many minutes, or a line graph to show how many minutes you watch TV each day. Or even a pictogram, you could have a little TV symbol mean 20 minutes, and in each Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, put 20 minutes or more, because remember in a pictogram, there's a picture that means something. So like the little TV image could mean 20 minutes, and you could just keep track of how many times you watched 20 minutes. And if you watched an hour, you'd have 3 dots. If you could have half dots, just like this person did. What about how would I keep track of the number of siblings each kid in our class has? Yeah, so I could see a couple different ones for that. Again, a line up to the number of siblings, or you could make rankings of each sibling, like yellow would be this percentage of kids would have 0 siblings, and then this percentage, pink would be like, or gray would be like 0 siblings, 1 sibling, 2 siblings, 3 siblings, and then 4 plus siblings. And you could just make this many kids had 1, and this many kids had 2, and fill in the chart so that way everyone had a spot, and then red would just be 4 plus. I don't know if that would work out to be that shapes, but I think it's just interesting because each graph is useful for tracking different information. And the important thing you have to decide when you look at your data is which way of showing it is the best way to describe it, is the best way to represent it.